The Morgan Report with David Morgan. Discover how to build and protect your wealth at themorganreport.com.
This is David Morgan with the weekly perspective for the week ending 8 March 2024. Well, gold was up about 6% over the last 7 days, and silver was actually up slightly higher for the last 7 days. So certainly gold's made a breakout, and it's in the news quite a bit. I'm on our Twitter page, was at SilverGuru22. I don't think you can find me very easily by my name, but regardless, the handle is at SilverGuru22. Just a few of the tweets. Gold's at a record. Gold mining stocks could be heading higher. This was from Barron's. Nice report from SSR Rocco report, Steve St. Angelo. While the jury's still out if the drawdown in GLD inventories is a bank run, the same thing is taking place in the SLV. I've mentioned this many times. Costco's now selling silver. Some of you are probably aware of that, not everyone, so I posted it on my Twitter. There's a couple articles about that. Robert Kiyosaki's bullish silver again, and I'll leave it there for our Twitter feed. I was on an interview with Jordan Royburn yesterday. It should be posted probably Sunday. And we talked about a lot of things, and I'll show you a couple here in a minute, but I just want to make you aware of his Twitter feed as well. He goes by the Daily Gold Expert Analysis and Guidance. He does a lot of technical work. Had a lot of fun speaking with him. One of the things that we discussed on his interview was this chart. This came out after Warren Buffett had made the purchase of 130 million ounces of silver off of the COMEX. And this is a 600-year price chart of silver. But what's interesting to know, it's the real price of silver. In other words, this chart is inflation adjusted for $1998. I know that's a while back, but the point is, if I can draw a point, that it's a constant. So we aren't looking at, we know what the inflation adjusted price is. It's constant throughout the 600 years. So go back to the start of the chart at 1344, silver sitting around $400 in $1998, which, by the way, are worth more than $2024, but I think we all know that. What's interesting is the all-time peak is right here. It happened in the year 1477, and it was just over $800 an ounce. So people saying, silver could never get to 1,000. Well, on an inflation-adjusted basis, it's been to 800, and if this chart was updated to $2024, that number would be bigger. It may even be 1,000. I don't know. I think you get my point. What's interesting is also to note the gold-silver ratio here. So if you go at the beginning of the chart at 1344, and it isn't until about, I'm just going to eyeball it here, 1864. So that we were under 20, a gold-silver ratio of 20, as I said during the interview. And then after it was demonetized, you got these high levels. That's happened a few times. Coming back to this main chart of silver's price and an inflation-adjusted basis, you could see that it was around the $200 level or close to it for, what would that be, 1584 to, say 1784, a couple hundred years. And then it dropped down, maintained around 100, then it dropped down, and we all know the rest. But all of this stair-stepping down, took place as silver was money until we got to this demonetization period, basically. And a huge silver discovery as well, as it points out here. Comstock load is what they're speaking about. And then we got this big move down and then up during the Hunt brothers, and then back down to where we are. You'll note it says the all-time low was right here, and just slightly above that, Buffett buys. So Buffett bought very close to the all-time inflation-adjusted low in silver. But believe it or not, on an inflation-adjusted basis, we're actually pretty close to that again. I thought I'd pull one more up out of my archives here. This is from March 11th, 2011. And you can see the sources, Barron's, Friedman, and Schwartz. It says the $1920 is $1.32. It's right in that range, $1.29, I think. It's the exact price. Regardless, that is equal to $296, $2011. $1920 terms, silver is priced at 16 cents. To make up the other $1.16, $1920 silver would have to increase to $296, $2011. Silver is the most underpriced commodity in the world, but will silver's purchasing power return to where it once was in 1920? I think it will, and then some. That's him saying that. I do think silver's going to make a move. I don't think it's imminent, although it could be. I think it's starting. Obviously, gold has started, and we're going to see some more upward pressure and some back and filling. Remember, Mike Maloney just did a recent interview, and I'll reiterate what Mike said. The biggest thing in a good, strong bull market is don't let the bull shake you off. There will be some very scary corrections. There'll probably be some negative press. It'll be long enough for you to kind of doubt your conviction. If you want to take some profits on the way up and trade on the way up, at least hold your core position or try to till the very end, and no one can call the top exactly. I've been lucky, fortunate, or skilled. Take your pick or any combination thereof. I've called every top so far from the 2000 bull market, but that doesn't mean I'll get the next one. And if you read the book that David Smith and I wrote on Second Chance, How to Profit from the Coming Tsunami in Gold and Silver, we basically talk about filtering out, which is what the professionals do. Set a target, your target, and sell some at that target. Do we want to move from precious metals into fiat? Probably not. So you might consider, what will you buy with it once you convert? Will you buy, more crypto, real estate, a business, stock market, bonds, whatever. So you have to kind of plan ahead, think ahead about what the possibilities will be. And I just want to point out, as I do almost every week, I know some of you are tired of it, but it takes 30 seconds. Please sign up for the free e-letter. The reason you do that is I've been shadow banned basically from the beginning. None of these, I do 2 or 3 interviews a week on average, and none of them hit the video feed on YouTube. None. Once in a while, there'll be one from somebody who's got a pretty good connection with YouTube. I don't. I'm shadow banned. So when you have this, I will send you everything. A lot of people, even that follow me fairly closely, don't know how many interviews I do. So you get there, we'll mail them to you. Secondly, the second way to do it is just go here to the blog tab on the landing page, click that. And when you click it, almost all the videos that I do that are public domain are showing up here. And so you can, watch them for free on that tab. But a lot of people that have known me for years will say, "Oh, I watched your video on USA Watchdog. It was really good. Thank you." Like that. And then implying, so sometimes I've called them back and say, "Well, is that the last video you watched?" "Oh, yeah, I always watch you when you're on Greg Hunter." I go, "Do you know I did like 4 videos over the last, 3 weeks?" "Oh, no, I didn't know that." So anyway, boring or not, there's a lot more information if you go straight to the website or get on the free email list. The other thing about the free email list, I'm working with a dealer friend of mine, and I think that I can get all of you that are on either list. The paid members know about this already, but the free list hasn't really been introduced yet, at least not in a meaningful way. And then I can get you purchasers, the investors, the stackers, more favorable price than probably anywhere else on the web. I'm working on that now. So if you're on that list, keep your eyes open for that. And finally, I'll bring up the documentary page at silversunrise.tv. These trailers are the same. They've just been cleaned up a little bit. One of you reached out and said, there's a misspelling in one of them. Thank you for that. It's been fixed. If you're interested in donating and what the perks are, you can hit the donations tab. Obviously not required, but we have to build up the treasury a bit to start the interviews, but we'll be starting those shortly. We've got the short list out, and we're adding to it. If you have any ideas, there is an email on this. I won't guarantee I'll answer you back, although so far I think I've answered them all back regarding any thoughts you have. Just because you have a great idea does not necessarily mean we'll incorporate it, but nonetheless, I do want to hear from you. So from David Morgan signing out, make a great weekend. It's another weekly perspective. I'll be with you next week.
What if I told you that you could go broke in less than 24 hours? That's how long it took for the Dow Jones Industrial Average to plunge by nearly 22%, losing investors billions overnight. The same happened to the FTX crypto exchange and Terra Luna stablecoin. Both crashed overnight, losing crypto investors billions. You need a strategy that will protect whatever amount of savings you have now. We are going to witness the greatest transfer of wealth that has ever occurred in recorded history, and you must understand the following. You can absolutely go broke in one day, We've been helping subscribers weather this economic mess for years. Now it's time for you to get the same insights. What really happens during a major collapse is that the wealth changes hands. You will actually benefit by looking ahead and knowing exactly how to build and preserve your wealth. Putting just 10% or 20% of your wealth into our approach could make all the difference in your financial security and peace of mind over the next few years. Discover the Morgan Report today. Visit our site at themorganreport.com.